Welcome back, welcome back. I didn't even want to make a video, but I was walking to the store, right? And I started thinking to myself, why I have no idea. Well, the Lord. So as I'm walking and I see the skyline that I always show you guys, it's a cloudy day out. And I start thinking to myself about the weather and how it's not the same like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it got cold in the winter, it snowed hard on certain days, and things like that. And I get it, weather change or whatever you want to call it, like it's getting hotter. I get that. So I'm staring in the sky, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you sure have been noticing a lot of different things about the environment, and I'm comparing things to back in the day like we normally do. And it occurred to me a certain question that I've asked before when I was in school or when I was around smarter people. Even looked it up. And that question is, why is the sky blue? I'm sure everyone has asked this question. And I can't exactly remember the answers I got, but I could have swore scientifically they say because of the water. It's like reflecting or something, or I'm not sure. It's been a long time. So it made me think, because all these different videos I see and all these different things people are showing, like this could be true and this could not be true. And that made me go to the old thinking, like I do best. I'm not king of thinking. I'm just a man that thinks a lot. And I know I think of things that people don't think of. Other people may. And I never heard no one come up with this yet. Because I haven't watched everybody and I haven't seen everybody. So I'm thinking to myself, a lot of scientists been lying and we're catching them. Why is the sky blue? And then that's when we get to the man level of, now we gotta fucking figure shit out ourselves. This is why men gotta learn a lot of different things. This is why we need certain men to learn certain things while other men learn other things and then come together, because they've been hiding things and it does things. See, when I discovered that colors make you feel things and it could be used to manipulate the way you see things or the way you like things or dislike things, I said, all right, no one made up colors. My father did. So they're using his power, the force, in a good or negative way. Now, that brings me back to the question. Why is the water blue? Why do we associate the color blue with water? If you want to draw a picture and you want to make water, you're going to make it blue. Why? See, I asked things like that when I was a young kid. And the teachers told me, shut the fuck up. They didn't say it like that, but they brushed it off. And I never let go of these questions, because in the back of my mind, I always had Who the fuck are you? Who are you to tell me what that color is? What that word means? How do you know what it means? How'd you make it up, and what the fuck is the equivalent to it? What? Make it make sense. Make the shit make sense, and then I'll believe you and I'll say what you want. See, I've always had a problem with that. Being told things. And that's a God-given gift, baby. Because that means you start out as an idiot. And then people tell you things. And then it doesn't size up to other things people told you. You're not even using your own mind yet. You're using other people to figure out what is in the face of you. Now, why do we associate blue with water? Why, when we look in the ocean, we see blue? Yet, if you take a cup of that water and scoop it up, do you see blue? Do you see any color at all? No. You see clear. Water is clear. There is no color. It's invisible. Almost. It's like liquid glass. And you know what I thought of? Sound the horns. When I learned about science, they said, everything is light and energy. And that water's really not water. Water is I don't know how to explain it. I'm not as smart as them. But it leads me to my thought of what I'm thinking. Why don't we use clear as the color of water? Seeing that's what it truthfully is. It's a mirage. The ocean, that it's blue. It's a mirage. It's not what it really seems to be. Right? Just like when we associate fire, what color do we use? Red. Those colors I like to wear. Those colors of Spider-Man and other superheroes. The colors Jesus wore. The two opposing colors of gang members. The two opposing colors of electoral presidencies, the diplomats and the blah blah blah. Why are those two colors so important? What is the color of unity? Get it? What's that color? Oh yeah! If you put red and blue together, you get purple. My father's color that he told Israel to wear. And we fly his rainbow flag. Because you know he's the master of all colors. And since he's invisible, unseen, sort of like the water, but we can see it. It has a physicalness. Why? Why? Have you ever asked this question to yourself? Have you ever thought like this? Have you ever questioned what you've been told honestly? And not just foolishly. Sound the horns! Have you ever fucking questioned things and said, I don't care if they're right or wrong, it needs to make sense. If they're right, it will make sense. If they're wrong, I'll continue to say, that don't make sense. Get it? why I get so mad, but these things infuriate me, not knowing the question to simple things. Having these simple thoughts, which lead to many other things. Like I said, colors affect your mood and how you are. Right? So then colors affect your physical body and what you're gonna do. You throw words in there, you throw scenarios and influence, and then boom. You got somebody doing the old puppet master. Sound horns. I hope this makes you think. I hope this inspires you to think of another question, of something else. In the nature of unknown. The shadows. See, when you dwell in the shadow room long enough, you might not get all the answers, but you damn sure gonna get some questions. And that's what they don't like. The guy asking questions. The guy saying, yeah, you seem smart. You got your fucking diploma, your paper. But riddle me this, Batman. Riddle me this. And then they look stupid in front of everyone. And then they want to get you out of there. See, I'm on to you fucks. I don't need to be the smartest. I just need to show the people how to fucking see you guys. I see you charlatans. My brothers and sisters and fellow good people of the Most High around the world. See, it seems we have a problem with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And I think that's why my father made me. Because, thinking, you can't think without seeing things. You can't think without hearing things. So, to get deeper thoughts and to get deeper questions, you gotta see a lot of things. You gotta hear a lot of things. Hope you guys learned something. I'm trying to end this in a good note.
What if I told you that the year might actually be 1724? In the 1990s, several German historians proposed a radical idea that the Middle Ages, in fact, didn't exist and we are actually living in the 18th century. In 1582...
Just so you guys know, I believe in this theory all the way. I don't think there was Middle Ages.
I don't know if there was a Middle Ages. I'm sure there was the time of whatever. But you know what I learned in history? That a whole bunch of kings changed the calendars and we don't even know what fucking year we're really in. We can think this shit is whatever. No, when sound the horns, when the Romans took over in Jesus' time, why do you think they call it AD and then BC? They changed time! Get it? Why would you change the time? Why would you want to make sure nobody knows the exact year we're in? Oh yeah, because then people that believe in the Bible don't know what the fuck time it is. Why do you think the Lord never gave a date? Why do you think the Lord makes his children walk blind? So nobody knows. Nobody can... Oh, I wonder why they... Oh yeah, because then you can fucking say whatever you want, and then reality is what you say it is, because nobody can verify things. This is why I say don't do magic and shit. Because if you don't know about, like, what time it is, you may be doing things to yourself and your bloodlines, and this shit is all tricks.
And if there was, it was short-lived and very... It was in one section of the world, but it wasn't everywhere for sure.
The Pope introduced the Gregorian calendar.
Oh,
Prior
really?
to this, most of the world was using the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar had a leap year every 4 years, in which an extra day was added. Since the solar year is technically a little over 365 days, the Julian calendar gains a day every 128 years. To account for this, when the Gregorian calendar was introduced, they should have shifted the date by 13 days. Well, here we have two possibilities. A pope had done the math wrong, 300 years in between then and now don't actually exist, and large chunks of history have been fabricated. But the phantom time hypothesis points out that it's way more than just a pope making a simple mistake. It points out the lack of records of big events.
Everyone knows about Epstein Island, but have you heard about...
Now, as I was looking for something, took a while. Like I say, do you ever ask questions? Have you ever questioned what year are we really in? Like I said, you gotta learn things, you gotta hear things so you can ask the right questions. If you don't, you'll never, if you don't fuck around, you'll never know. And if you never know, you won't fuck around.
Child trafficking, drug trafficking, sex...
Tavistock Institute, y'all.
The Vatican is likely the most corrupt institution in our world. The Vatican is no stranger to murder, child trafficking, drug trafficking, sex exploitation, and cover-ups. Arguably one of the most famous basilicas in the world, underneath it lies a mass graveyard. So located
Did you know that?
about 5 stories beneath the basilica is actually another temple dating back to the Roman Empire.
I wonder who's under there. I wonder whose temple's under there. I wonder.
It's over 2,000 years of dead bodies.
I wonder whose bodies are under there. I mean, it's not like they're saying they killed them or none. Their skulls built into the walls. People seen pictures of it. They showed pictures. They let people down there and see things. Not everything, but people see things. There's tours.
If you're wondering if those bodies are of Christians or Catholics, they're not. It was actually used for pagans. And here are some of the mosaic tiles that they found beneath the Vatican in the temple that it's built on top of. So here's a quote from one of the popes. I believe that the church not only should apologize to the person who is gay, whom it has offended, but it has to apologize to the poor, to the exploited women, to children exploited for labor. It has to ask forgiveness for having blessed many weapons. That's a little ironic considering what the Vatican has done to make sure that it's always protected and people never expose them. This is Pope John Paul I, and he died 33 days after his election. Now, the conspiracy around his death is that he found out the Vatican was laundering mass amounts of money, and he was going to rectify the situation of getting rid of everybody in the Vatican that was corrupt. His plans were announced straight after he became the Pope, and he...
Now that's I don't know what came over him or if this story's true or if any of this is true. But, gotta look stuff up. But this guy's a fucking soldier and he's a white dude.
He died 33 days later.
Really? Those magic numbers.
2015, it was uncovered that 2 cases of child were found within the Vatican walls. And get this, not everybody involved was named. Only a couple names took the blow for everybody else in the Vatican. And then the year before that, the government actually intercepted 3 deliveries directed to the Vatican,
all containing drugs. Cocaine was found in condoms inside of these 3 deliveries that were intercepted. They were
Wow.
Listen, man, the Vatican out here doing crazy stuff, man. You can't put them above nobody else because they some of the I ain't even gonna say the words. I don't want this video to get, flat.
somebody within the walls would disclose who this was going to, but nobody came forward. This is St. Peter's obelisk, and not a lot of people know where it comes from. One of Rome's cruelest emperors, Caligula, actually stole this from one of Egypt's cities, Heliopolis. He stole it from Egypt and he transported it to Rome, and you know what he did with it? It was used to murder and execute Christians.
So let me get this straight. You take a big stone from Egypt back to where you are only to destroy the first Christians. So you use an Egyptian thing against Hebrews? That's interesting. And the obelisk is a representation of a big dick.
They would round up every single Christian that they could find, chain them, bound them, bring them to the obelisk, and brutally murder them. Vatican
Crazy. Grand.
read, and this book is about black magic. It harnesses spells and rituals, but many believe this is the book that they use to summon the devil when they are selling their souls. Kind of like the Book of the Illuminati. The conspiracies of the Vatican can go on and on and on. It's truly a never-ending cycle.
This world is fucking ridiculous. With all these speculations and then other things that people do find out and get caught or whatever, this shit is really, 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 really ridiculous. All love, all praise to the Most High. Try to have a good day. Watch your children.